Well, hello, it's Wednesday, so it must be time for Woolly Hats Wednesday WIP, and you join me on a rather damp Wednesday. So a good day to be indoors and doing admin and jobs and perhaps even a bit of knitting and crochet. So what have I been up to? Well, lots of things. Knitting and crochet wise, I have finished all the sections, the fairisle sections of my jumper. So this is one of the back sections, and I've blocked it so it's nice and flat, so it would be good for sewing up and doing the collar. I'm now doing the sleeves, and they're dead easy because they're quite short and they're not fairisle, they're a plain rib. So I'm cracking on with that, so the end is in sight. Other things I've been doing, here we go. So I've been continuing with my sunflowers, so that's halfway done. I've got 16 of these to do. I've done 8. I'm on the second set of 8, and then I've got lots of little red flowers to do as well. So that's sort of I can pick that up and put it down and in between sort of thing, but it's rather good. I do like the colours, they're rather yummy, nice autumn colours. And because there's a lot of repetition, it's not too taxing. What I tend to do is do a row, and so I've done eight of all the little ones, and then 8 of the green, and then to pick up and do that. So as you get bigger, it takes longer to do the circle. So now I'm on the caramel to do the little leaves of the sunflower. So it does take longer. And then of course there's weaving in the ends. Don't you see there's quite a few ends? That's the problem. That's the problem with all these things. However, I have woven in the ends of the first 8, so that's a big tick. And when I've done this, I'll weave these in, and then I'll go on to the other flowers, so that it's not just a big marathon. And talking of weaving in ends, I do have a few on here to do. So I've started doing some on there, but there are, because you change colour quite frequently. Don't look at those. So that's going to be fun, isn't it? Weaving in the ends. It's all part of the process. It's good for you. So they say. Oh, listen to the rain. Got the rain on the window, dishwasher in the kitchen, the clock going in the dining room. Gosh, it's a noisy one today. Anyway, so that's what I have been doing. So because I'm coming to the end of that project, I have my eye on some future projects. I do have a few other projects halfway through, but we'll forget about those for a moment. So there's a couple of things. One is, it's a friend of mine's big birthday this year, and rather belatedly, so it was actually in May, but I've asked her what she would like me to knit for her or crochet for, and she said she'd like a hat. So I'm going to do this hat here, Wellig, which I have done before. It's a cable pattern. Now the pattern calls for a mixture of Corriedale and Cheviot wool, sort of double knit. And the reason she used Corriedale and Cheviot is it is quite water repellent, which is quite nice for a hat. However, I don't have that. I've been looking in my stash. I've found this. So this is Colour Lab, and it's 100% British wool, and it's got sort of blue face Leicester in as well, and it's West Yorkshire Spinners, as you know, one of my favourite kind of wools, and it's variegated. Now normally I would say don't use variegated for cable because it doesn't show up the pattern, but I think because it's not too dark that might show. So I'm going to do a test piece to see how it goes, and then if it doesn't show the cable, I might go back to doing a plainer version. But I do quite like the colours on that, sort of pink and blues and yellows, so I'm going to have a go at that. But obviously once I've finished my other projects. So what else? So I've got other things, so that's obviously is for somebody, and that takes priority because it's for somebody. But as I showed you the other day, I did buy the latest magazine from Rowan, and I think I pointed out to you, Mr. W suggested that would look very nice on me. So I thought, oh yes, that's quite a nice one. And I thought, oh yes, an opportunity to buy yarn. However, I have been sorting through my stash, and I have found copious quantities of this, which is Merino Blend Double Knit Superwash, and it's really nice and soft, and that's rather yummy. And it's a nice colour. It's not a sort of too. It's sort of a mustardy green. Is that a colour? Anyway, does it have a colour on there? Shade, dialogue. No, it doesn't call it a shade. It's just got a number. What a shame to call a shade just by a number. It should have a name, shouldn't it? And it also, it said anti-tickle. So what could you not, what's not to like? So that I've got plenty of that to do the main colour. I also found in my stash some Rowan felted tweed. So I'm not sure why I've got copious quantities of this in my stash. I must have bought it to make something and then didn't do it, or it was cheap or something. So there's a lesson for you all, is just buy yarn for what you're making. Anyway, I'm going to buy this. So the retail opportunity at Black Sheep Wools or somewhere else has to be delayed, I'm afraid. So anyway, the other colour, because it's got two colours. So this is actually done in felted tweed, which is the Rowan's go-to double knit range. So I have actually got some felted tweed in my stash. There you go. And this does have a name. I can't see it here, but I don't know it. I know it has a name. But that's a lovely sort of orangey thing. So I thought that would go quite well with that there. See? So that would be the latest project for me, but it might have to wait a little while. But you know, when you've got the new wool and the pattern, you think, well, just try it out, just try the pattern. So I'm restraining myself very much before I get into all this lovely knitting and things for the winter. And it's nights of drawing and it's time to do all that kind of stuff. Plus any Christmas knitting and things like that. So I haven't even thought about that. I'm not doing much Christmas knitting this year. I did a lot last year. But also this time of year is poppies. So if anybody's doing crochet poppies and knitted poppies, do let me know and show and share. We'll be doing some in class tomorrow night and tomorrow afternoon with the next steps in crochet. So that'll be interesting. Hopefully wearing them for Remembrance Day. So I think that is all from me this week. Yes, it is. I haven't got anything else to show you other than my lovely crochet blanket here. This is the very first crochet blanket I made, but there we are. And you might be interested, some of you know this. This is my Iona sweater, which I've made from wool from Iona, from the sheep of Iona, and the pattern is Iona from the lovely Sarah Hatton. So it's a lovely wet jumper to wear on a day like today when it's a bit cold, a bit chilly, but you need something nice and snuggly to wear. So I'm going to go off and snuggle in this and do lots of admin and possibly go down to the allotment if the sun comes out, which is the BBC says it's going to, and I shall leave you there. I'll see you next week. Bye for now.